Mm-hmm. 1 2 1 2. Yo, it's time. Oh man, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it, man. Hold on, let's let it be played. I mean, I know YouTube is going, they're gonna do what they do, man. This beat is so fire, man. Listen, we're gonna talk some music. We're gonna talk some life. We're gonna talk some current events too, man. Let me turn that down. Let me turn that down. But welcome, man. It is Camp from the Port Show, where every sound has a story. And I am back. This is episode 75. And I do appreciate you tuning in. I apologize that I've been ramping out episodes and then going away, then ramping out episodes and then going back away. And now we're here today. I will get more consistent with a schedule. I think I got the nice schedule coming up. If I can guarantee myself at least one night a week or maybe even two, we'll do this. Or maybe it's gonna be some late night shows. And you just have to catch it when you can, unless y'all be up on the night owl tip. You be up late or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of things that I want to talk about, a lot of things I want to discuss. And I'm ready to get into it. So let's start. Actually, let's start with the breaking news, man. The breaking news. I saw this and it hit the chat too before I even got started, man. Funk Master Flex night. Funk Master Flex night. Funk Master Flex is going to be doing his last radio show on Hot 97 this coming September 1st. And that's pretty big. That's a pretty big deal. I'm not from New York. Was born in Freeport, Illinois, made in the 1980s. Y'all know what that's about, right? And Funkmaster Flex was one of the first DJs I just knew, even just being from my small town in the middle of Illinois, or the middle of nowhere, as as I like to say. And whether it was the 60 Minutes of Funk mixtapes that I used to purchase, the lugs, the driving shoe, you know what I'm saying? What was it? Nothing was it? It wasn't Giovanni Rims. But he kind of brought. This might sound crazy, and this is no disrespect to people in Houston or anything like that, because I know car culture is really heavy. I know it's really big out there, right? But Funkmaster Flex, for me in the Midwest, he was the main person. Like, he was the mainstream, like the Colonel Sanders of car culture in my world. Like, it wasn't until he started talking about rims and trucks and all of that where I started paying more attention to it. But obviously all my cousins in the South, with Texas, Mississippi, Tennessee, wherever, where have you, I mean, they've been on car culture. Car culture is a different type of animal down there, but I'm just talking about the sensationalizing of like rims and all of that. But Funkmaster Flex, I mean, obviously some of the biggest moments in hip hop media have Funkmaster Flex name attached to them, whether they've been positive or negative, whether they've been real or fabricated. He is one of the few staples in hip hop media that has done it all. You know what I'm saying? And when I say that, I mean mix show, the interview, a place for artists to come do freestyles, controversy, obviously, things like him crying at that concert. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. No, he was talking about how F with Tupac, but then he was like in the studio crying over Biggie. And then that one time, it looked like he showed himself getting liposuction on on the internet. Like, Flex is the wild dude. Hey, but for me though, and I don't know if many of you know this or remember this. Remember the first time that Swizz Beatz battled Just Blaze, and it was really the versus format. It was the first time they did versus way before the pandemic. And I was covering it on Behind the Rhyme. I wrote like a short write around of what I just watched and everything like that. And Funkmaster Flex tweeted, he retweeted my post from behindtherhyme.com. and that did really great numbers for me. So uh, I have nothing bad to say about Funkmaster Flex. Like I low key went viral because of him and Swizz Beats. You know what I'm saying? And regardless of how you feel about the radio wars, um, I think having a career like Funkmaster Flex, one is hard to come by. You know, we're not even in the era I don't believe anymore, at least not through terrestrial radio. We're not in the world where you're going to have a 30, 40-year career in just radio in a prime slot. And it goes over well. Or I mean, look, I never checked the Hot 97 books, right? I don't have access to Emma's books, but whether he was number 1 or number 5 or whatever he was on his slot, to hold that down for decades, that's a big feat. And I know that, obviously him and Charlamagne the Guy were going back and forth early in the Breakfast Club days, and a lot of people pick a side or whatever. And it's an acquired taste on who you like, whichever style you like. But excuse me, but I think one thing that does have to be recognized is that, Funkmaster Flex was, in his like 30th year when that was happening, or like 20th year, because that was like 2010, 2011. Yeah, Funkmaster Flex has already been on the air for in a prime slot in the number 1 market in radio for over 15 years at that point. So it's interesting, man. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how this is going to be received, but I hope it's received respectfully, and I hope people truly do recognize who Funkmaster Flex really is. Again, first DJ I remember seeing, Flavor in Your Ear remix. At the end of that video, Funkmaster Flex is on the turntables. He's in there. You know what I'm saying? One of the people that went to bat super hardcore. I mean, hey, he was loud and super wrong. He was super loud and super wrong. But when Mr. C first had his situation going through, Funkmaster Flex was there. One of Tyler the Creator's funniest freestyles ever, and the reaction to it, Funkmaster Flex. Like he's really he's really iconic. He's really a legend. He's really been he's really just one of those guys that again, we're probably never going to see a radio career like that again, at least as far as terrestrial radio is concerned. And that's bittersweet, because I still do believe in terrestrial radio. I just don't believe in a lot of people in it. And I don't believe in the antics that they're doing, just like I don't believe in the antics that the labels are doing. But I do believe in radio. I do believe in record labels, because and we're going to talk about why I believe in record labels, or at least just doing music right, and what that means. So this whole show is going to tie together, but I had to at least speak on Funkmaster Flex, a true icon, a true legend in hip hop media and radio, period. You know what I'm saying? Let's not split hairs. There's not too many people that have been on air as long as Funkmaster Flex, the way they have been on the air. He's in the air of Wendy Williams and Howard Stern and Angie Martinez, just like Jones. I just saw the comment come up. Flex been around so long that he put Angie Martinez on. You know what I'm saying? Like that's who he put on. There again, Tom Joyner. I believe Russ Parr. Russ Parr got at least 25 years out the game. But that's and look, if you know your radio history, look, Big Boy, I think, is the last one left. I think Big Boy and Angie, because I don't want to say that. And Angela Yee has been around way longer than people think that she's been around, and she's not that old either. My man Wang checking in. He's at Flex with his own show, like a Pimp My Ride. Yeah, absolutely. But he only did classics for celebrities. Yes, and that's what that's what the big dog pit bulls, and we don't ride spree wheels. Oh wait, so we ride spree wheels, nigga. I don't know. I forget what rims was he talking about, because it was it the spree wheels, or it was another one. I know he didn't mess with Giovanni's, because even on somebody mixtape, it might even been his. He was dissing the hell out of Giovanni Rims. But yeah, man, Funk Master Flex night. This is going to be interesting. I wonder if anybody gonna come through and freestyle. You know, Funk Master Flex is one of the few people that 50 Cent likes, and is always and is always respected. Who will 50 Cent go to now when he want to randomly pick on another rapper or actor or actress or label executive? You know, that's wow. Damn, Funk Master Flex about to be out of here, man, in a few days. Consume that content. Real talk. If you love radio or you like radio or you have aspirations to be in radio, just catch up on some of the things that Funk Master Flex has done for radio, man. And I'm not saying, I'm saying that like he retiring. I don't know. He could very well just be on a new mission. He could very well be going to another company. You know what I'm saying? He could be joining the Untouchable iHeart Mafia. He might be going to a podcast network. Who knows? But either way, though, Funk Master Flex, but Funk Master Flex has earned the right to do nothing too, though. You know, he could do absolutely nothing. Like, yo, I'm rich, cool. This is over. You know, I'm about to go travel, and or maybe I'll just be like a vacation DJ or whatever. Whatever he decides to do, he can get it done. And man, he's left one heck of a legacy. Again, as a person that I bought lugs, I bought 60 Minutes of Funk mixtapes. I've tuned into freestyles. I've downloaded Funk Master Flex Radio freestyles on LimeWire. You know what I mean? Like, I've done the whole nine. So every decade of my music life, Funk Master Flex has been a part of it in some way, shape, or form. So wow, this is pretty heavy. This is pretty heavy, and I don't mean it heavy like a somber or sad type of thing, but just like heavy, like, wow, man, he's really just going to do something else. He's going to do something else that's just not Hot 97, and that's crazy. That's crazy. But salute the Funk Master Flex, man. You know, no matter if the memories are good or bad, you are a radio legend. You are a media broadcast legend. You're a broadcast media legend, and the hip hop legend too, man. So respect to you, sir. Thank you for your contributions. You are greatly appreciated, my brother. Let me see, Dub, yeah, Dub. I need dubs. No, we're not singing that though. Master P and Lil Romeo, right? You know what I'm saying? Let me see. The fact that Flex penetrated, yikes. The fact that Flex penetrated into the Midwestern hip hop in general was crazy. Yeah, exactly. All through radio. Be clear on that. And you're raising a great point, Jones. Because I'm you raised a great point though, Jones. Because you know, again, we heard about Funk Master Flex. Well, I heard about Funk Master Flex without the internet. You know what I mean? Like, just through BET, MTV, I knew, I was aware of who he was, and I didn't know he was like a radio DJ. I didn't know he worked for a radio station. You know what I'm saying? Oh man. Yo, man, I appreciate y'all coming in. This is hilarious already. So but yes, man, Funk Master Flex. Congratulations, man, on your next chapter. Let's get to this. Let's get to this Cracker Barrel. Let's get to this Cracker Barrel talk though, real quick. So I just saw the update too, so I'm glad I did this and I had some time. So the Cracker Barrel CEO, the new CEO, changed the logo. You know what I'm saying? She had it looking like one of those generic belt buckles, ironically, that you would see in Cracker Barrel, right? And the company started losing mad investors and just mad money. The stock was on the plummet, and I respect that. And you know what? 48 hours later, the headline, I don't even think it was 48 hours, a complete 48 hours later. It says U.S. restaurant chain Cracker Barrel scraps new logo after backlash. And that's, and wow, look, talk about, whoa. One of the top headlines for this is BBC.com. Now, look, I think that's British Broadcasting. So be clear. I'm not on no porn site getting my information. But that is interesting. And of course, you know, your boy Donnie T, Big Donnie T said, you know, congratulations to him and on changing the logo back. And you know what, though? I do want to salute that, though, because I want to say two things. I want to say two things about this. One, until 2015, 2016, I had no idea that I was supposed to believe that Cracker Barrel was a racist establishment. I had no idea. Had no idea. Now, again, I'm from the Midwest, and I'm not going to say there are zero Cracker Barrels. However, one, I was a Denny's guy. I always went to Denny's. I don't even really mess with IHOP like that. And then when I'm in Freeport, it's Landmark Cafe or Two Eagles, right? So off the rip, I'm not even eating Cracker Barrel like that. So now, fast forward, I make trips, we travel. But back in the day, we was going to Shoney's. Again, I'm just not in Cracker Barrel like that. It was Shoney's, and then when Shoney's started closing down, it was Bob Evans, right? But then, for some way or another, we just started going to Cracker Barrel. I don't know. And it was just like, okay, this is like a little cabin, you know, some Partridge Family type of vibe, I guess, some Amish vibe. See, look, I'm thinking it's the Amish establishment. And I don't think Amish people are racist. I've never heard anything about them. Matter of fact, yo, when I totaled my Outlander on Highway 20 and I hit a deer, it was some Amish people that pulled over and got the deer off the street for me. I mean, I was like, dude, my car is dead. You want to help me? You want to help the animal? Whatever. But saying all that to say, and I promise you, and you know, in the logo, for instance, this white man by the barrel, I don't even remember seeing him in the 2000s. Wasn't it just like a cornucopia, or like maybe a barrel and a rope, or something? I don't know. It wasn't a noose, though. It was not a noose. That's what I do know. So I'm not even computing that, oh, Cracker Barrel is racist. I never thought like that. But again, from the Midwest, in order, bro. Well, first, shout out to my hometown, Freeport, Illinois. Two Eagles, Landmark Cafe. We ain't even got no Cracker Barrel there. But when you open the scope and we traveling south, I'm going to visit my cousins in Quitman, Mississippi. We going down there for the 4th of July. Or we going for the family reunion? Shoney's, Bob Evans, or nothing. Or I'm not getting off the bus. Take me to Shoney's. Take me to Bob Evans, or I'm not getting out. As I'm a teenager, early 20s, Denny's. Why? Because Denny's is 24/7, and that's where the hoes were. The hoes were at Denny's in Chicagoland. It don't matter when, if you can go to the late show at AMC 30, and whether you went in Warrenville or you went in the city or Aurora, wherever you went, there's a Denny's open. And everybody, after they went to see Training Day or whatever movie it was, we kicking it at Denny's. And you can get the Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity or the home run breakfast, or you can just get the sampler with the tenders and the loaded fries. And it's lit. I wasn't going to Cracker Barrel like that for me to even know this information. What my man Jones talked about, he said, me neither. Yeah, see, okay, good. I'm not alone on this. I never knew. And Denny's is gross unless you're joint. No, stop. Okay, all right. You're doing too much. I'm getting rid of that. I should delete that comment. Denny's was fire. I can't do anything about now. I don't know anything now. But in the 2000s, like specifically 99, fall of 99 to summer, fall of '02, bussin'. Bussin'. I don't know what you be ordering. I don't know. Maybe you got the wrong meal. Denny's was fire, especially the one that was on Butterfield Road. Oh, that one was crack. That one was crack. And it was the one, I think it was on maybe on Route 59. It might have been, you know what? It was close to Carroll Stream because I used to live over there. Let me see. But we had a Cracker Barrel around here since I was a little kid. I just associated with hey, exactly. I think this is like old people stuff. I thought it was like gourmet senior living food, like gourmet, like nursing home meals or whatever. Because I'll tell you one thing that's very synonymous. And again, this is why I couldn't tell it was racist. Because I always see elderly people in there. And I saw black people working in there. So for me, a matter of fact, most of the time I'm in the Cracker Barrel, black and brown people be working. And they be the manager. So it never occurred to me, oh man, this is racist. Oh, this is a racist establishment. Like we just decided that Jed on the damn sign is a racist. And he's the cracker by the barrel. I don't know, bro. I don't know. But it was never that to me. So it wasn't until some of y'all out there started using the internet. And because y'all the same one that said Michael Jordan, the athlete, owned prisons and not Michael Jordan, the white guy. Like it can only be one person in the world named Michael Jordan. It started with that. It started with the Tommy Hilfiger hate black people. And then it's the Cracker Barrel dude is racist. I mean, Cracker Barrel is a racist establishment. That all happened in, like between 2014 to 2016. And most of us did not fact check any of this at all. Let me see. Only been to Cracker Barrel once. It was trash. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Jed the Barrel probably didn't like niggas though. Hey, and that's fair. But I tell you what, that country ham, it hit when I was eating pork. You know, I still get the mama's French toast breakfast. So if I'm in there, like if somebody paying, like, don't get me wrong. Don't get me confused. I haven't really craved Cracker Barrel and then got up and got in the car and went to go get it. Right? But if somebody is like, yo, you want to go to Cracker Barrel? Depending on what hour, I might say yes. If it's 9:30, 10 a.m. and I'm off my fast, like if I fasted late, like today, I started my fast like 6 o'clock. So I'm gonna be ready to eat by 10. But like if it's like 5, I'll be done at 9. So if you want to go to Cracker Barrel at 9:30, bet, let's run it. Because if you ask me to go, that means you're paying. At least I assume. But either way, I'm only getting the French toast, the mama's French toast breakfast with the hash browns. I want egg whites, and I'm probably going to get a country ham, cranberry juice, and water. You know what I mean? That's it. So, I have tried the catfish there before, and I ain't going to front. The catfish is okay. It's okay. It wouldn't rubbery like it be at some establishments that's supposed to know how to make catfish. So, you know, and I think I've had the steak there before. Again, little thin flank steak. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. But, I mean, again, I just want us to have a very clear understanding of what racism from an establishment is. So if it say whites only outside, bet you got me. Or if it say no colors allowed, boom, you got me. If you go into an establishment and they say, nigger, get out of here, you got to concede, right? But if we are calling a place racist just because the logo has a white man sitting next to a barrel. You gotta, I need more than that. Because you could easily, for all my Chicago people, you could easily flip that and assume that Harold's is racist if it wasn't black owned. Because it's a black man chasing the chicken. I don't make the rules. I'm just telling you what I see in real life. And when you have a black man chasing the chicken, but because it's black owned, I'm guessing we don't see a problem with that. But just the white man sitting next to the barrel, he's not sitting on a barrel of black people that we know of. You know, it ain't saying he ain't sitting there with the Klan hood on or with it off, but you can see the cross. Like, he's not doing that. And I'll be real. I don't think I have seen that particular logo that many times. I've seen the font and like different decoration around it. I think there's been a few remixes of that logo. I just don't remember that man being on it every single time. That's just me though. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Let's check these comments. That should have made you feel like it was more racist. A bunch of old white people being served by black people. Stay woke, brother. Hey, it be white people in there too. But hey, look, depending on where you are, the majority of the staff is black and brown, especially cooking the food. You know what I'm saying? And I get the undertone, so I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up. You know what I'm saying? Them pancakes with the crispy edges. You know, I'm not really a pancake guy, but if I ever get pancakes, crispy edges are a must. That is a fact. That is a fact. Let me see. On a serious note, why did so many people boycott due to a logo change? The food didn't change, and the white people was pissed about the logo. I'm glad you said that. We're going to transition from right there. Let me see. First. Dude by the barrel was one of the vampires and sinners. Hey, come on in. Come on in, bud. Got some pancakes here with the crispy edges and hash browns. You like hash brown casserole? You know? Oh my God. Okay. So dig it. Back to this. On a serious note, why did so many people boycott due to a logo change? The food didn't change, and the white people was pissed about a logo. Wang, I'm gonna say this because I agree with this, and this is actually what I want to talk about. And I am glad they boycotted, though. I am glad white people boycotted, and we're going to assume the majority of people are white because I want to say this, and I mean it exactly how I say it. I am tired of all-inclusive activities. I'm tired of everything being for everyone. I'm tired of everyone wanting to be a part of everything. And we do have to pivot. We got to make a hard stop. We got to start creating separation. You know, because and I hate that white people have taken woke and they have sensationalized it. It make it sound so lame. It was lame to say woke when it was just black folks doing it, like the hoteps and the militants. It was getting lame when they was doing it, but now that like red state white people are using woke, now it's the wackest thing ever. Like, it's yuck. The fact that white people use woke should make every black person should never use woke again. Never use it again. Because now look what you're associated with, right? But here's the deal with me. Whether you believe Cracker Barrel is racist or not, just don't go. It's not for you. And if you don't want to get the experience to see for yourself, then that's fine too. We have this problem where everybody want to be invited to the party. Everybody wants an invite to the cookout. Somewhere along the lines, we went from racism, sexism, um, and all these labels of phobias to saying, "Oh no, everybody, come on, no, look, this is for you, you, and you. Look, I have my staff. Look, let me tell you about my staff, okay? In my business, look, we have a black man, we have a white woman, we have 3 black women, we have 2 gays, and we have an Indian person, and we have an Asian and the Middle Eastern, and he gets to wear his turban. We're for everybody." And shut the fuck up, because I don't want to hear that. I don't. And it's not because I don't want people to be equal, because we're humans. We're human beings. We're all equal. We at our heart, soul, and bones, we are the same, right? We just have on different exteriors. But at the same time, I don't like the wide net of inclusivity that we have been like subjected to, just for lack of a better word. Like I hate now that, again, whether it's buying a shirt, you can buy a cake, you want to listen to music, you want to watch a movie, everybody feels that they have to be represented or you're invalid. Every story has to be told within a story or you're not getting support. And I felt this way when it was scaled all the way down to, how come there's so many light-skinned girls in this music video? I felt like that then. It was just like, yo, do I know the answer? No. But for me personally, I'm going to speak for me always. I never thought that darker skinned women were less than because they weren't in the Pharrell video. Like, I never thought women of darker complexions were less than because they weren't in Big Pimpin'. That was never my or in the Tip Drill video or whatever it is. And now fast forward 20 years from some of those moments, or 20 plus years from some of those moments, and now we feel that every single second of everything that we do has to be catered to another person or to a certain demographic or to a certain group. And that's what's trash to me. I like exclusivity. I like being at the table where everybody ain't here. You know what I'm saying? I want to be where some people ain't allowed. Because it is this kind of inclusivity is why we keep going back and forth with white people about how they can't say the N-word. Like this is literally a derivative of that. They trying to bring Snoop under fire, and Snoop was being funny. It was more tongue in cheek. He didn't say anything about the LGBTQA plus community. He didn't say anything slanderous or homophobic. He just said, I don't want to have to explain to my grandson why 2 women have had a baby. I just want to watch the movie. And again, we can teach our children whatever we want. And you can make whatever you want. But everything ain't for everybody, and that's okay. That's okay. It don't have to be for everybody. And we need to go back to stuff being for just certain people and certain people not, because even when you do all this inclusivity, it still don't really go that way. They changed that logo, and people that support the brand as is backed out. And you know what? Nobody that already wouldn't go in there was saying anything about it. Let me see. Just we first get new crispy edges on Family Fi. Okay. Let me see here. I'm gonna have to only turn these cameras on, but we can't act like colorism don't exist. Yeah, hey, listen, colorism does exist. It does. But at the same time, though, are you a colorist? And see, and that's the thing that we really need to ask ourselves. You know what I'm saying? They was on BS. Yeah, what do you want to see? Okay. So, and that's the thing. I think even as colorism does exist and it is a real thing, but again, we don't, there's colorism and then there's just the aspect of vanity, right? Because a beautiful woman is a beautiful woman no matter what shade of color she is. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's okay to not like certain women or whatever. Like, for instance, name the people that call Kelly Rowland ugly. Show me them so I can slap the shit out them because Kelly Rowland's beautiful. Coco Jones. Like, yeah, colorism exists. But then sometimes some women are just not prettier than the other women. And men. You know what I'm saying? And men. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like Tyson Beckford was winning. Tyson Beckford was winning when light skin was in. So I'm just saying we got to be very careful on how we just label, how we give out these isms and how we give out these phobias and how we give out this inclusivity, because it doesn't have to be that way. And if you are that passionate about it, this is just to the field, this is to everybody. If you're that passionate about all of these things, then create your own. Or get on the board, or get in the industries and you make the changes to them. You know, just like, I mean, hey, look, people would swear that big people getting discriminated against. But now, between Dr. Miami and Ozempic, and now and fitness model influencers are in, and since Jade Cargill became a professional wrestler, not everybody want to be fit thick. Again, a lot of this stuff is follow the leader. A lot of this stuff is follow the leader, and people just want to be down with whatever is the hot topic, the hot thing in. Look, Lizzo did all that hooting and hollering about body positivity. Look at her now. Look at her now that she can afford a nutritionist. We ain't discriminating against big people. Look, if you big as hell, if you obese, if you morbidly obese, if you could be on the casting for my 600-pound life, you're unhealthy and you should do something about it. That's not us being anti. It's you not taking care of yourself properly. Let me see. My dog said, we talked about this at one point in my life. Oh yeah, that's right. I got older and my life changed. Colorism comment. Okay, yeah. I do remember that. Yeah, see? I mean, hey, look, should I even say this? But y'all in Freeport, y'all saw my first girlfriend. Like my first real one. I've never been a colorist. Only thing I learned a long time ago, ugly comes in every shade. Niggas would be chasing after light-skinned booger bears. Yeah, hey, look, and that's colorism. When you would date a light-skinned girl that's unattractive versus a pretty darker skinned or darker complected woman, you're a colorist. You're a colorist. That, like, when you would take ugly light skin over beautiful dark skin, now you're a colorist. It's just the same, like, I'm possibly making a false equivalent. But now, you know what? I'm not even gonna do that. I'm not even gonna do that. But like, there's a lot of women in the world that will get a date or a text from me before any other person of the same gender will. I'll leave it at that. We can move on. Camp from the Port show, where every sound has a story. We're gonna burn through this a little bit quicker. Okay, off the Cracker Barrel logo. Hey, look, man. Hey, it ain't for everybody. Salute the Cracker Barrel and the people changing the logo back. I don't care. I will randomly be in there for French toast soon. That's it. That's it. And if you found that the company is racist, you feel racism tension, you think that they gon' Toby you from Roots, then don't go in there. That's fine. I tell you what, more racist acts have happened at Walmarts, Targets, and McDonald's than they have at Cracker Barrel, and we got phones. Y'all be every time I see a black person getting into something, they at Walmart, McDonald's, or Popeyes. Y'all ain't never in Cracker Barrel setting it off. Y'all ain't never in there setting it off. So, like, I don't even know. Yeah, again, sometimes the minority can be so loud that you think you need to do something when all you gotta do is just let them talk. That's it. They gonna figure it out for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Hey, so be it, my brother. So be it. You know? All right, man. Oh man. So this one kind of hurt my heart here, man. I won't say too much because I gotta catch up on some of the news. Yeah, hey, Waffle House, they be setting in Waffle House all the time. And they be mad racist in Waffle House. Straight up. They be mad racist in there. Not working sometimes, but yeah. If you want to catch the Klan on an off night, go in the Waffle House. Way more racist than Cracker Barrel. And they 24/7. Dr. Umar Johnson, man, my brother. I'm here to express bias. Okay. I'm here to express extreme bias. I am not one of these people that is about to hop on their platform in front of a live audience with a fluctuating number of live viewers. And I do appreciate every single one of y'all as you hop in and out of here. I am not about to get on here and bash Dr. Umar Johnson. I am not. I'm going to laugh at him. I'm going to question some of these moves, but I'm not going down him, man. He's still one of my favorite personalities, if you will. He's one of my favorite characters in this world of the internet. Got the pleasure of meeting Dr. Umar. And even though I have not donated to his school, and he could be like, see, that's your problem. You didn't donate to my school. But it's looking crazy. It's looking like nasty work because he goes from saying his account was frozen, and then but you can PayPal him, right? That happened a few months ago, and then within the last few weeks, he said it's a lien on the property for the buildings, and the state of Delaware is about to take the FDMG school from him. Unless he came up with, I think that was number like $40,000 or something like that. And then from there, so of course, Tariq Nasheed and all them, they was letting them have it. People letting them have it on here online. Don't get it confused. It won't be me, but people letting them have it. And then obviously, in the midst of all this, he's on the media run. He did Don't Call Me White Girl show. He did a couple other platforms talking about this lady that was supposed to be caregiving for his moms, that he paid, but that he fired, and that he was like, yo, she was there to eat up the prince, saying Gummy my Shango stick, but her coochie was foul, so he never beat. Dr. Umar was going crazy. and then it looked like he was about to knock down Don't Call Me White Girl. Respect. And then people thought he was with an actual white woman because they don't know who she is. So they were trying to catch him up in that. Oh, look, you said you didn't want to be. You said Snow Bunny's never. It's like, no, she's not a white person. She says, don't call me white girl. It's literally in her name. Then from there, Dr. Umar got on live and was willing to solicit himself to black women for dates for the low price, or I don't know, maybe the very fair price of $500. Yeah, that's right. My brother, Dr. Umar Johnson, got on Instagram Live, I believe it was, and said, ladies, if you got $500, I'll go out on a date with you and I'll pay for the date. Just run that 500 and I got you on the date. Now, even the dumbest woman, even the dumbest person, because I don't want to lead us to women, even the dumbest person know, look, if I give you money so we can go out, that means I just paid for us to go out. And he was promising that it would be like, like they ain't going to Cracker Barrel. You dig what I'm saying? They're not going to be there. They're going to be at Denny's. They're going to be at an establishment like, something above Ruth Chris. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some Grand Lux. You know what I'm saying? Some of that label or vernacular. So, and then after that, right? Because people start calling him out about it, of course. He said, man, this is actually for a reality TV show that I'm doing. So now he Mona Scott Young. Now he Maurice Scott Young. You dig what I'm saying? Dr. Maurice Scott Young, Dr. Umar Young. Talking about this is just to do casting for this reality show so Black women can find love. It's like dang, G. Not like this. Not like this. I hate to see my man going out like this, man. But I'm going to wish Dr. Umar well, man. I'm going to still keep going after the content and looking for it. I did believe in him in the school. I did wonder why so many people of high profile with a lot of deeper pockets were not necessarily involved with this, especially if it was so gung-ho and so hardcore on representing Black education and Black people. And because it wasn't the charter school route, you know what I'm saying? I've always wondered why he couldn't get the funding, but now though, again, you just give people time, man. You give people enough rope, they'll hang themselves, and it looks like we're learning why, because even as a doctor, even as a child psychologist, and I'm not saying that they get millions of dollars. I'm not saying that, but you can tell that he's not necessarily, well, his practice, and maybe he doesn't have time to do his practice, but I don't know how his practice pays. For one, I don't know that. I know for a fact, because I tried to book Dr. Umar, not for any of my shows, but for another show. I know he charges to do certain interviews, and the price fluctuates. So he definitely is a person that if you see him on the platform, he has been paid for to do it. The host of the show I was trying to get him on just didn't want to pay it, and I was like, I don't know, man. I think you're missing the mark here. I was like, I think we should do this. And he was like, nope, fuck no, I'm not paying, dude. I'm like, okay. And then I watched 3 other shows capitalize off of that literal period of time, that literal 90 days when I was trying to book him, covering all the topics that I want to cover. And those platforms are doing better than the platform I was trying to book it for. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not here to start nothing. But I literally know what I'll be talking about. I just wish people would listen to me. That's all. But saying all that to say, if the school is really real and the school is really going to happen, man, I hope he cleans himself up, gets his act back together, puts a real team in place, and really get this thing moving. I think the other thing that may be turning people off, and now as I look at the optics a little more, it does make sense to me. So this one man has 2 buildings. He's going to build this Black school in Delaware, and he's going to use it as a private school and have kids from all over the U.S. coming there to be educated. That do sound a little sus in this day and age. But not only that, we ain't seen one teacher. We ain't seen one faculty member. We haven't seen an assistant principal. We haven't seen a superintendent. We haven't seen anything. Like, there's no staff. You dig what I'm saying? And, that should be alarming, especially if we're talking about schools. Like, schools cost millions of dollars. I don't want people to conflate 2 things and think it's not real, because I seen when I seen him live and I got a chance to meet him, he did challenge this one lady. She was like, charter schools are different from what I'm doing. He was like, charter school is just putting your name on a building for a least amount of time. I've bought and paid for buildings, and I'm going to be furnishing them. I'm going to be housing them. It's not the same thing. And he's right. That is a very true statement. That's why Oprah can have, a school in Nigeria, and LeBron can have a school in Akron, and yet he can score 40 points a game. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like he could, yeah, and you don't, where you see him the first day or the last day. It's just a different situation. And but schools though, for real, especially if you're talking, if you want to fully staff them and all of that, it will cost millions of dollars. I don't want anybody to ever get that confused. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, if he was in some like single family home and was uh having teachers come there like for homeschool and stuff, that'd be different. That'd be different. But his dream or his goal is so big that it does look sus when one person is trying to execute it himself. And I think that's the biggest problem. I forgot. There's a brother on YouTube. I don't think it was Tariq Nasheed. It's another brother though. That was like, look, I'll give you the 40,000 that you owe the state. He was like, but yo, I just want to be in on the buildings. And I don't know if he took him up on that offer or not. And then but like he raised a great question, a great ultimatum. And I do respect him for this. He was like, look, I'll give you 40 grand. Because I believe in what you actually doing. He was like, but if I give you 40 grand, you got to cut me in. He Shark Tanked him. And I respect that. It's like, yo, if I'm gonna give you this bread and I'm getting you out of a jam and I'm restoring your credibility for the people that have already donated, yeah, you gotta cut me in. I need one of these buildings because you weren't gonna get this done without me now. And with that, I hope he took that deal, and I hope that even in the mix of all the internet slander and the laughing, you know what I'm saying, and all that, and all the downing of him, if he really has this goal, I think it's now the most important time to be rallying behind him. And if you really believe in this vision, uh, now he's in the position of no leverage. He's in the position of no leverage with public embarrassment if he really cares about that. Because some people don't embarrass easily, but there is still a chance for this to happen. I want to see how business gets done now, but he is wilding on the internet. That is just that is just the undisputed fact right now. Dr. Umar Johnson is wilding on the internet right now, in an effort to get some bread. And all the negative press with that lady, and then with his daughter, I believe, like all of this stuff it's not looking good. I don't want to kick anybody when I down. I know what it's like to have parental issues with a child. So again, hey, look, man, no slander from me. No slander from me. I know all about volatile, toxic, tumultuous relationships with a child involved. I know everything about that. I know things I've never shared, and doing my best to not share on this platform or anywhere else about that. So I'm never touching that. I'm never looking down on somebody like that, because man, when I tell you, you have to live it to really get it. And all that Cliff Huxtable shit sound cool, and all that Charles Dutton and and what have you. Yeah, it'd be the right thing, but some people don't want the right thing. I'll say it just like that. So let me see here. No, hey, I don't know if you've seen it though. Hey, Wang, but Dr. Umar and Kevin Samuels was about to go at it when they were both alive and ascending to the top. One of Kevin Samuels' old clips about him talking about Dr. Umar, because some woman was like, "How come you can't be more like him?" He was like, "Oh, you talking about the Prince of Pan Africanism?" He's like, "You want me to talk like that, calling you queen and all that?" He was like, "Look where that gets you." Hey, Kevin Samuels was a wild dude. Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. It's like I always wondered why. Always wonder why why it took so long to build it, and B, why he hasn't been able to get any black celebrities or wealthy entrepreneurs to help fund it. Yeah, hey, those are red flags. Those are red flags. And you know what's very real in that is that he might have been trying to come off with like a little. He wanted too much position of power. Because if I am a LeBron, if I am a Jay-Z, if I am a Oprah, and I give you this money, yeah, no way am I not asking for at least 30% and help with staffing. And I'm going to put people in place in here because any one of them, even though they wouldn't have to be 100% responsible, but like 2 million is a drop in the bucket for most of the people that we know of with black wealth that could help the situation. That could be nothing. You know what I'm saying? So maybe this will lead to a retooling and a restructuring. And you know, he's Dr. Umar, for somebody that's so focused on community, he definitely has to uh be very conscious about the one he wants to build. Hey, and I can't lie. He's also alienating a lot of people with how he feels about just black love and bunny hopping. You know what I'm saying? Like he's been on a rampage for a few years, and you know, hey, Byron Allen got it, but you're not gonna disrespect him and call him a bunny hopper and then take his money. Robert Smith, black billionaire, he got it, but his wife happens to be white. Like, bro, like maybe just chill on that. Sit down at the table because your hand is out. You just want it from the people when you need it from the elite. Because one of them, one check, and this is done. So interesting to see how that goes. All right, man. Hey, look, one more topic. We're gonna get into some music. I promise. You know what I'm saying? Um, Roger Jackson, Syko Stew. Now we probably gonna cover some of this on First Black Channel, but this is from our audience here tonight, man, because this situation is it's a little wild, it's a little crazy, and at first I was very conflicted on this. For those that may not know, Roger Jackson is the son of Quentin Rampage Jackson from Memphis, Tennessee. He is considered one of the greatest UFC light heavyweight champions or heavyweight champions of all time. He has been also a person that is um, kind of like, you know, resembling like a loose cannon, somewhere along those lines. You know, I've always thought Rampage Jackson was a scary individual. You know, people were scared of Mike Tyson back in the day, right? But I think the thing that we forget about Mike Tyson is that Mike Tyson was abused as a child and then he was on drugs. Because as you can see now, even though he still got that in him, but Mike Tyson is a great human. He's a great human. He's a funny guy. He's a very knowledgeable guy. Rampage Jackson, though, I believe he'd be around here sober. And maybe when he get to drinking, he might go crazy. But if you ever watch his stream or if you see clips of Rampage Jackson as a retired UFC fighter, he's not a person to play with. Which then brings us to his son. Roger Jackson, he is a very unsafe individual to me. And that's not because of what he did here. It's just, again, if you just watch people, you watch their demeanor. Because everybody had that one kid in your neighborhood that's like really hard. like actually tough, but he's like Bishop, but it ain't. But he don't need a gun. You know what I'm saying? Like Bishop was getting his ass whooped until he got that revolver, right? Then like he was running scared, getting slapped on, whatever, whatever. But then he got the gun and the game changed for him. I ain't talking about him. I'm talking about that one kid in the neighborhood that any given moment, he might start fighting over anything. You could get filed in 21. You could have bought the last honey bun and didn't know he was behind you. You might be talking to his cousin, had no clue they were related because they don't look nothing alike. And he on your ass. And that's difficult. That's a difficult person to deal with. And fast forwarding here to the situation. Okay, so look, I'm sure everybody has seen it, but Roger Jackson's going to an indie wrestling event. He backstage kicking it, chopping it up for some unknown reason. And I still haven't really seen why this happened. But the dude, Syko Stu, came up to him, tried to crack a can on his head. And Roger Jackson just stood there like, bro, what's wrong with you? One, that's when you know you're not dealing with a regular guy. You're not dealing with a regular civilian. When I don't care if it is a wrestling event, he really took a can to dude's head, and then he just sat there and processed it. And then when dude was like, "You're not gonna sell it," he was like, "What is you talking about? I'm not a wrestler." Boom, right there. You know, you're not dealing with a regular individual. And then he tell you, "No, I fight for real." Warning number 3. So now I did see the clip where they supposedly pieced it up or whatever, or they shook hands or whatever. And see, on the outside looking in, because a lot of y'all on the internet, you play too much and never been in a fight in your real life, y'all thought it was over then. Oh no, I didn't think that. I never thought it was that. When he did that, I was like, you know what? That's unsettling, because Roger Jackson, just from the way he reacted to that can being hit on his head, he reacted like, yo, I'm gonna see you later. Like he literally reacted like, I don't know when I'm gonna get you or where I'm gonna get you, but I'm gonna get you. And lo and behold, that's what happened. My man come in the middle of a match. He ain't part of it. Ref don't ring the bell, nothing. He come in there, bow. So now look, the slam already knocked him out. So it's game over right there. But then he got to the ground and pound, and he didn't miss one punch. And shout to the punk ass ref who didn't do anything. He just sitting there and letting dude get pummeled on. That's crazy. That is crazy. You're not supposed to let that happen. So from there, a lot of backlash, a lot of reaction, a lot of feedback. RVD, Mark Henry, siding with Roger Jackson. I was surprised by that. Hurricane Helms, I don't know if y'all remember dude, but he's siding with Syko Stu. Rampage, obviously, riding with the son, and he should. Here's my deal. If it was on site, I think we look at this a lot differently. If Roger would have scooped dude right after he hit him like that and then start pounding him out, we look at this differently. Then it looks justified, right? There is some time and there is too much occurrence in between that does make you think, okay, man, this is excessive. And I'm with you. It is excessive. Because once he slammed him, like, dude, he didn't even try to brace himself for it. it was game over. Like, I think you can be OD even in your revenge. But 48, one of the 48 laws of power is crush your enemy completely. And again, hey, look, Roger Jackson, much like his father, Quentin Rampage Jackson, they just don't strike me as dudes that's playing around. I don't think they're ever playing with you. I don't think it's ever a work. I think you are friend or foe. I think it is love or hate. And I think you should always tread lightly. They're not the guys you want to slap box with in the street. They're not the guys you want to wrestle with or play games and all. They're not those people. They're not. So for me, know who you're dealing with and know that everybody don't play like that. And yeah, keep your hands to yourself. And yeah, you can go too far. Yeah, Roger went too far. But who am I to tell him what's too far when he probably processed being embarrassed by getting hit in the head with the can? Again, it's a messy situation. It should have never happened. And, you know, the reason why an RVD or a Mark Henry, two OGs, two legends in wrestling, are saying that because look, they grew up in a different time. They grew up learning about how Bruiser Brody died. Have y'all ever watched Dark Side of the Ring? Watch the Dynamite Kid episode and what Ray Rougeau did. You know what I'm saying? Like there are some, unfortunately, things like that do happen in wrestling. And some of the consequences are life-threatening and even fatal. So, I mean, again, everybody's a tough guy, bro, until somebody tougher show up, man. And I hope dude recover because I've seen people reaching out to him. I heard the report sounded really bad, but on the flip side, man, like, why did you even do that? Why did you even do that to an outsider with no inclination about what could be the end result for you? This is why keep your hands to yourself and be direct but be kind, bro. Because man, that could have went super left. Well, even more left, even more OD. But hey man, prayers to everybody involved. There was a messy situation that was nasty. Hate that it happened. But hey, be careful out there. Let's get to this music. Let's get to this music. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I'm getting messages and all the whole nine. One second. Let me see. My bad. Let me mute this real quick. All right. All right, man. Listen, man. Let's talk about some music. Let's get to some music. It's Camp from the Porch show where every sound has a story. Big X the plug. I hope you're happy. The album is out now, real quick. Well, not so quick because I do want to talk about this, but I mean, at the same time, the album is so quick that I can't give it a deep dive. You know what I mean? Like this is but make no mistake, this is a dope album. Big X the plug. I hope you're happy. 11 tracks, 26 minutes and 4 seconds. That is my biggest critique with Big X the plug. That's my biggest critique. By the time his songs really get started, they over. Like right when we get to it, it's done. But can't deny the quality of what you get in those 2 minutes and some change, right? Yo, this is a really dope album. I hope you're happy. It's a really dope album. What I didn't expect was it for it to be so many either legacy acts or like rising stars or solidified stars in country music to be on this album. Like, you know, hey, look, Darius Rucker has been somebody in the music scene since I've been in junior high. Okay, back when he was Hootie. All right, Darius Rucker. I've just seen him receiving awards in the last couple years at the Country Music Hall of Fame. I mean, y'all know who Jelly Roll is. Bailey Zimmerman, a rising star. Ella Langley, star. Luke Combs, superstar. Luke Combs just sold out Nissan Stadium. It ain't too far from here. It ain't too far from here. It's like a mile or so away. He just sold out Nissan Stadium like 2 or 3 times in the last 12 months, and he's on this album. Shabuzi, obviously fresh off the biggest song in country music. I think that was last year. Inc. Tucker Wetmore, I just seen him at the BMI rooftop. Thomas Rhett got a #1 record out right now. I forget the name of it, but he on fire, and he smoked his song. It's one of my favorite. That Long Nights, that might be my favorite song on here. Thomas Rhett smoked that. He super smoked that. But I want to draw attention to the album itself, because I love how the promo was like, it says rap album, country album, and it's crossed out, and it's an album. And I think that's really how we got to look at it. This is just an album. I don't want to call it country because, hey, Big X is sticking to his script. It's 808s and there's rapping on it. But at the same time, he got some stars with some great voices, and they're singing. And yeah, it's not the content that we're used to in the hip hop world, and that's honestly sad when you really sit down and you get into this album, because there's a lot of great stuff on here. But hey, a lot of these R&B cats can't sing. You know what I mean? That's the ones that's winning anyway. And there's a lot of great voices on here. There are some people in country music. There are some rising stars and some country music star hopefuls right now in the scene that can't get these features, or they can't afford these features right now. And they're trying. They're trying. I know a couple of them. Some people would love to be on the song with Ella Langley right now. Somebody would love a Bailey Zimmerman or a Luke Combs feature right now. Shabuzi don't even do interviews. Shabuzi don't talk to labels. He don't talk to nobody, and he's on this album. So this is a really big deal, and we should treat it as such. This ain't normal. However, this album is a big deal, and it could be a setup. It could be a pivotal setup to how music sounds in 2026. Much like when Country Grammar dropped, and All in My Head was that Nelly and Tim McGraw, all of that. We could be setting up for another one of those, but I don't know. I want people biting this style, because here's the other piece of this. The content on here is great. It's relationship, it's heartbreak, it's redemption, it's coming of age. A lot of that is on this album, and it's really important that we celebrate this album for where music can go and what it could sound like, and the shelf life will improve of it. You dig what I'm saying? Big X the Plug is on United Masters too. You know what I'm saying? Which is they're probably like the most powerful indie platform right now as far as music is concerned. I know what the first person to really cake up off of that was like Inali Choppa. They got Big X the Plug, obviously. Brent Faiyaz started there. I think, and quote me if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, I think La Russell, Wizkid, and Burna Boy were all on United Masters at one point. And that's kind of how they got their launch, to get their bread up, to be able to do the things that they're doing now. So it's this is amazing. This album is really dope. I like that he's rapping about heartache and relationships without constantly calling women bitches and hoes, and how he better than the new dude they with because he got money or because he on, like all that like surface level like BS. Like, you don't get it on this album. It's not on this album at all. And I like the fact that Big X is treating this he's treating this really seriously. Like, even on the interludes, you can hear there's some actual thought behind the records. Like, he's explaining what he wants to happen for these songs, and then you're just getting great follow-up music with people I think that just happen to be country artists, and that's what's so dope about it. The promo has been great. The music is great, and that's the most important piece of it. And if I could say anything about this refreshing album that I really appreciate, is that I want you to treat this album like I do Post Malone albums. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all let Post Malone come in, do White Iverson, and do mixtapes, right? Then he doing songs with Quavo and 21 Savage, but then you know Post Malone goes and does rock music, and he does country music. He's on bluegrass. He's had his Grand Ole Opry debut, but he's doing the stadium tour with Jelly Roll. Like we got Jelly Roll. I'm sorry, Post Malone is all over the place. He's all over the place doing whatever he wants in music, and it looks like Big X the Plug is on the path to do the exact same thing. And I want people to appreciate that and listen to it just like you with him. We often say that everything comes from Black music. Black people created all music, but yet we don't support the other sounds that we create. We don't support the other artists. If it ain't solely what's on your urban AC stations or your hot stations, we don't be supporting it. We don't be listening to it at the clip that we should be, but then we complain music sucks. Well, let me tell you, this album does not suck. This album is really good. Again, it's 11 tracks. It's 26 minutes and 4 seconds. And I give it a 3.5 out of 5. 3.5 out of 5. Again, songs being too quick for me. But that's the Big X the Plug recipe. So I should shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, this works. This is what's working for him. He became a household name for a 2-minute song. And he's dropped several projects with 2-minute songs all over it. I don't think he's ever put out any project that's been over 30 minutes. So screw it, I think. Don't matter, because this is what's winning. But this is good music, and you should check it out. Next one, Ghostface Killah Supreme Clientele 2. Man, okay. This is a dope album. It is. This is a very dope album. It just shouldn't be called Supreme Clientele 2. That's all. That's all. Sequels are extremely hard to complete at a high level. And I think as we think back Supreme Clientele to Supreme Clientele 2, right? The original album, Supreme Clientele, broke a lot of rules, and yet it still worked. And unfortunately, we don't live in a climate where Ghostface Killah is considered a rule breaker. He's considered a legacy act now. Like, he's a legacy act. He's a rap legend. He's not the guy with something to prove on the second effort, right? Supreme Clientele, much like 2, look, it's a long album. It's 22 songs, and it's about an hour long. But on Supreme Clientele, the first one, so right, long album, it was a lot of high-level rapping about nothing, like literally nothing. This rap is like ZD, facing me real TV, crashing high speed, strawberry kiwi. That don't mean shit, but it worked. And it was one of the singles for the album, right? That was Apollo Kids. But the beats are so hard, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? It didn't chart exceptionally well. Cher Shayla Ghost was like the biggest single, and I don't even think that was a number 1. I couldn't even on the rap charts, I don't believe. It became a DJ favorite. It became a DJ favorite in the clubs, like in like house parties and things like that. But that didn't really ring off in real time. That was a very slow burn to that. And that's if you care about stats. You know what I'm saying? If you care about stats, I don't think statistically the album really did well. It didn't have a bunch of, instant gold, platinum certifications for singles or the album. But when you listen to it in its entirety from track 1 to the end, it's incredible. It's just an incredible body of work. And again, unfortunately, we don't live in an era where this album will get the opportunity to slow burn and win like that. It's just not going to happen. I think it's really good. I think Ghostface Killah is one of the greatest rappers in the world, and that's undeniable. Real quick, the Genius voice sounded a lot different on the trial. I didn't really realize how different his voice sounded. Uh, it was an interesting switch for me because I thought it was a whole different dude. He's still spitting, he's still going crazy, but I didn't expect his voice to sound like that. But obviously, it's some heat on here. Listen, again, the trial, I like that. The joint soul thing with Nims and Some God is on there. Let me see. Oh, Iron Man. Look, the actual first song of the album is fire to me. And then you got Curtis May with Conway and Styles P, SP the Ghost. He did the Georgie Porgy joint. He got on that beat. It's hard. He trying to kill people on it. I like it. And You My Friend with Method Man. I heard a piece of that. That's actually one of the longest songs on this album. What's interesting about this is that it's 22 tracks, but this is still under 50 minutes, and that's rare. That's rare. I can tell that Ghostface is trying to adopt a lot of today as far as people be talking about listening retention and all that. Again, I don't believe in that. I think people like what they like. We just don't consume garbage. I sit here and listen to a 3 or 4 hour podcast every week. It may not be in one whole clip, but within 2.5 days, I will have consumed the entire show. And I'll watch a good interview. I'll watch a great conversation, and I will listen to a dope album. I prefer albums not be more than 14 tracks, but dope is dope. And this is a really dope album. If I had to give it a rating, right? I'm going 3.5, maybe even 3.75 out of 5. Because this album got some heat on it. It's got some heat. And hey, look, I'm biased. I'm biased. Wu-Tang biased. And Ghostface Killah is the best member of the Wu-Tang Clan. Didn't start off that way to me. I tried to fight the reality of it, even after Supreme Clientle was out. But shoot, I want to say since 8 Diagrams, but I would even say maybe you can even make a case during the W album. Ghostface Killah has been hands down the best Wu-Tang member. He's one of the best storytellers ever. Like I know people love to give, like, for instance, obviously you got to give Nas his respect. Because even Ghostface thinks Nas is the greatest rap storyteller ever. And hey, why would you not, And we give Cole a lot of respect. We give Kendrick Lamar a lot of respect. Ghostface Killah is a top 8, top 7 rap storyteller. I'm super confident in saying that. And he tells the best unconventional stories in rap. So for me, that is unquestionably why you can't give him anything lower than a 3.5. He's just too good at doing what he actually does, which is rap. And he's in his 50s now? Like, he's still rapping at a very high clip, and he hasn't fallen off at all. He's actually made more sense with age, which makes him even more dangerous. And look, I'm giving this a 3.5, maybe even 3.75 to a 4, because again, man, look, it's 2025. Clips drop, Freddie Gibbs drop, Wiz Khalifa drop, Step Brothers drop, and those are still top 10 albums of this year. The bar to get a 4 or 4.5 or 5 for a rap album this year is difficult. We're gonna have, towards the end of this year, I want to see how the fourth quarter looks. This is unquestionably the greatest hip-hop year of this decade. And we're about 3 albums away from me wanting to compare it to a 90s year or a 2000s year. We're going to see. But this is a very special year for hip-hop, man. I do want to say that off the rip. Last one, I want to talk about Contra, the 5th. They dropped the EP. It dropped on the 22nd. It's only 5 songs, but it's heat. Those young boys got some heat. For a fast fact, the twins on Contra, which are man, what's my brother's name? Taj and Raz. I didn't know that. I knew Razcast was their dad. I didn't know their mom was Teacher Moses. I had no idea. I don't know where I've been, but be that as it may, I see why they're so dope. because their dad is an incredible rapper. Their mother's an incredible singer and writer. So yeah, innately, they should be as phenomenal as they sound with actually creating music. Um, they really get busy. All four of them, though, they all four get busy. I just don't know the other two guys' parents, respectfully. But 5-song EP. What I love about this is that it is rapidy rap, right? But then they really give you some content. They got 2 songs on here, Woman and God's Grace. Woman is about the like the hook, kind of, I guess you can call, like, who's the realest woman to you? And then one of them raps about their mom, and then one raps about, I think, their grandmother, then one says their unborn daughter, and then it's just like this it's a circle of them just rapping about the women in their lives and how they either raise them or how they plan to take care of them. It's super dope. These young boys got busy on this. And then also on God's Grace. God's Grace is where they're just being thankful for what they have and how they have it, and how they're telling pieces of their redemption story. And it's really cool because usually when you got young guys like this who rap at such a high level, they don't normally craft really dope songs that are this palatable. And they and Coast Contra, for 4 members, they're doing a really good job at that. Even the other songs that are like the rapidy rap, it's still some structure, still some format to it. Um, I love the uniqueness of what they have. Um, they're super dope, but we're a long way away from just them rapping on YouTube. Like, now they're crafting out songs and putting out projects over the last couple years. And man, I'm excited for what these young boys are going to do. Sincerely, because I think they are super dope, and they're worthy of your ears. No matter what type of rap you're into, I think they got something for you. And then, of course, I mean, look, if you're a fan of Jid, I would say listen to him. I think if you're a fan of Freddie Gibbs, you should listen to him. Like, the high level rappers are making better songs ever. This might be the greatest era of high level rappers, like technical MCs that make songs. I don't think there's been one without, and they've dumbed it down enough, and they've honed it in enough, they've reeled it in enough, and it's still giving you heat. That's a that's a feat, man. That is a definite feat. So, Big X the plug. I hope you're happy. Ghostface Killah Supreme Clientle 2, Coast Contra the 5th. 3 projects I believe that you should check out immediately. Next week for sure, because I'm going to try to give it an honest few listens. We're going to get in that Tiana Taylor album. Maybe another one. But man, as always, I appreciate y'all. We was turned up on the earlier part of the live. Again, didn't know Cracker Barrel was racist. My bad. But I definitely enjoyed tonight. Please be safe whatever you do. And put some good music in your ears. And just know that always and consensually, it's love.